in this edition of RPPV News. A speed racer loses his wheels. A glimpse at the Peninsula in 2040. And a local polly scores a clean bowl. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPPV News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. We are back in a snap lockdown following an outbreak of the Delta strain of the COVID-19 virus. At the time of recording, local exposure sites include the Chemist Warehouse at Coringal and Hastings KFC. This means that sadly several events have been postponed, including the Yawa Aquatic Centre Family Fun Day. Once again, masks must be worn both indoors and outdoors, and there are only 5 reasons to leave home, including getting vaccinated. Highway patrol officers charged a Carrum Downs man last week after he was allegedly detected driving 248 kilometres per hour on Eastlink near Thompson's Road. Police Air Wing followed a red BMW sedan to the Nepean Highway in Seaford, where it's alleged the driver dumped at the car and fled. Local police and the dog squad located and arrested the man in a nearby street. The 36-year-old was charged with reckless conduct endangering life, driving while suspended and other traffic offences, and his car was impounded. He was bailed to appear at the Frankston Magistrates Court in December. Back in April, the Peninsula community was asked, what do you want life on the Mornington Peninsula to look like in 2040? At this week's council meeting, the Imagine Peninsula 2040 Citizens Panel answered that question. They have developed a community vision using feedback from over 3,000 locals. They identified the 7 principles that matter most to our community.
They are climate change and the preservation of the natural environment, public transport and accessibility infrastructure, supporting an inclusive and connected and safe society, education, sports and arts opportunities, and responsible and innovative housing.
The panel described what the principles would look like in real terms and called for actionable and measurable targets for each. Their report will be used to develop the council plan and other key initiatives. The council responded to the work of the panel with a warm standing ovation.
Through the Mayor, we welcome any questions councillors may have.
Their presentation can be seen in full on the Shire YouTube channel. A social media stoush over cricket nets resulted in a local politician bowling out a state polly for a duck this week. Josh Farrell has the story.
The Dramana Cricket Club has received a boost with funding announced by local council to go towards refurbishing their cricket nets. The allocation for funding was announced on June 22nd at the council meeting, with the movement being made by Seawinds councillors Antonella Chally and Deborah Marr. The funds would come from the Cricket Renewal Program, with no exact figure placed on the amount the council will be providing to the club. In a post on his social media on July 7th, State Member of Parliament Chris Brain said it was time the councillors prioritise these nets in their next budget. On July 11th, Councillor Antonella Chally responded saying that council had already allocated funds towards the Dramana Cricket Club. Councillor Chally said even though she was unsure when she first spoke to the club that she's been working with them closely.
I met with, could have been last year or maybe a couple of years ago, I met with Adam Boyk down there at the Dramana Cricket Club with Deborah Marr, with Councillor Deborah Marr, and we had a chat and he, showed us around the grounds and highlighted the conditions that the cricket nets were in. Not only the quality and the condition of the infrastructure of the cricket nets, but also just around the ground and what needed to be fixed up so that players could, train in safety, because there was a bit of risk there with the inundation of the ground as well. So I guess Adam will probably take up the discussions now with Chris Brain's office to see if there's also some state government grants and that can assist the club.
State Member of Parliament Chris Brain said in a statement that when he visited Dramana Cricket Club last year, these nets weren't even on the agenda for the councillors. He said the club were fed up to their back teeth with local council, so was pleased to hear that council had now pushed to allocate funding in their budget.
Well, I know that the Dramana Cricket Club have quoted up the cricket nets to be about $250,000. So that's the quote that they have received, and they've done their homework on it. They know what they need. They know the quality of the cricket net infrastructure that they need as well. They just need to get the funding in. But last I heard, from Adam. It was about 250k that's needed. I hadn't discussed it with Chris Brain. I know the Dramana Cricket Club have had the discussion with Chris, which has been great. So it's good that they've been able to raise their needs and what they need at the club with Chris Brain, who's got a good ear for that. But no, the post on the Facebook post, it was just a matter of just correcting the information, because that was the first opportunity I had to actually communicate to Chris, well, it's okay, we've got it covered.
State MP Chris Brain did not respond to questions around potential funding from the state government. Josh Farrell, RPP News.
We are in the middle of what has been an especially cold winter, and our local St Vincent de Paul shops are calling for donations of warm winter clothing. They particularly need good quality jackets, overcoats, jumpers, scarves and trousers. Due to the coronavirus lockdowns in place last winter, people did not buy as much new seasonal clothing as normal, which has had a knock-on effect on donations a year later. This year, Vinnie's shops will sell more than 6 million items of clothing and save 3.5 million kilos of textiles from landfill. All profits go back into local communities to fund welfare services that help people experiencing homelessness or who are struggling to put food on their tables or pay their bills. Vinnie's shops are located in Rosebud, Hastings, Mornington and Frankston and will be open to accept donations once the current lockdown is over. And don't forget, food waste collection starts this week on the Peninsula. From Monday the 19th of July, green bins will accept both garden and food waste, including fruit and vegetable scraps, meat scraps and uncooked bones, dairy products, bread and coffee grounds. The waste will be turned into commercial-grade compost. Food waste is already being collected from Frankston households, so now there's no excuse to add food to our landfill in our part of the world. After the break, we go to Patricia with the coming week's weather report.
There's a quiet revolution happening on the rooftops of Australia. And at Solar Heart, we're proud to be leading the charge. One home, one family, one solar panel at a time, helping smart Aussies make a real difference to the planet, cutting their energy bills and connecting them to their smart energy future. Get smart, get Solar Heart.
RPPV and Bendigo Bank have a long-standing relationship. Without Bendigo Bank, we wouldn't have a transmitter site, we wouldn't have a studio, we wouldn't have an outside broadcast van, and without them, we can't tell the stories that we think the Bendigo Bank community, our community, needs to hear.
Thanks, Bendigo Bank.
Thanks for your support.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Hello, I'm Patricia with your RPP 7-day Mornington Peninsula weather forecast. Today we are out exercising near Rye, looking for glimpses of the sun between the clouds. So let's jump straight into this week's weather. Saturday 17th of July will be mostly cloudy with a very high chance of showers, most likely during this afternoon and evening. We will reach a high of 13 and a low of 6. Sunday is looking much the same, mostly cloudy, an 80% chance of showers, most likely in the early morning, then easing. We are looking at a low of 7 and a high of 13. Monday will continue to be cloudy, There is a high chance of showers, most likely in the evening. Expect a low of 6 and a high of 14. Tuesday will also remain cloudy. A very wet day with possible hail in the afternoon and evening. Winds northwesterly 25 to 35 kilometers an hour, turning southwesterly 30 to 45 kilometers an hour during the morning. We are looking at a low of 7 and a high of 13. Wednesday, the 21st of July, brings another cloudy day with a high 80% chance of showers. Winds westerly 25 to 35 kilometers an hour. Expect a low of 6 and a high of 14. Thursday will be mostly cloudy and a 50% chance of showers. We are looking at a low of 7 and a high of 13. And finally, Friday will also be cloudy, a 60% chance of showers. Winds north to northeasterly 20 kilometers an hour, increasing to 40 kilometers an hour. We are looking at a chilly low of 5 and a high of 13. Overall, a great week to stay in near a warm heater and a hot drink. Until next time, take good care.
And to Muzz with the Surf Report.
Hey guys, Muzz here. Welcome back to this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. As you can see, the weather's pretty bleak and cold at the moment, but finally, after like 8 weeks of pretty much surfing the beach breaks most days, looks like we're going to get a big groundswell hitting over the weekend. Looks like it's going to come in sort of Saturday and get pretty large. The wind might be a bit southwest before it starts swinging around to the west-northwest. And it should maintain into Sunday, back off a little bit Monday, but then it's still going to be pretty solid right through most of next week with west to northwest winds looking like it at the moment. So for the first time in a long time, we might be in Western Port for more than just a one-day wonder. There might be a little bit of a groundswell, so let's hope so. Kids are going back to school, water's got cold, weather's cold, everything's cold. The crowds are pretty minimal. Been some great beach breaks earlier this week, so Monday, Tuesday were fantastic. Wednesday was a bit windy, but there was plenty of surf, so next week's looking pretty much the same, so get amongst it and I'll probably see you in the water. Bye.
And that's all from our team here at RPPV News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Stay safe, use the QR codes and get vaccinated if you can. Bringing you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula, I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.